that goes. Maybe he's learned his lesson. The other thing is that you would think, or I would think, that with 500,000, 600,000 people signed up, excuse me, more water there, 50, 60,000 people using it frequently, people earning money on the network, that the Steem token would just rocket higher. Well, for the longest time, it did not do anything of the sort. Hung around $1.20, was up and down, went a little lower to $2, and then of course we had a big run up. I think it might have gone $8. I have to double check, but it went up. But now it's not doing very much, and it's not showing really relative strength. So there's something going on with Steem that indicates it needs to shift, and it needs a bit of new energy. We'll take a look at the charts here in a little bit, but that's a problem. That's been a problem for Steem for a long time. It's back down. I mean, it had a big run up, made a lot of people a lot of money, and now it's back down. A lot of other projects are down as well. But I think Steem is actually not showing outstanding relative strength at all. So it's the other thing is that a lot of other tokens have wider use cases. Steem is specifically designed for a social media platform within a very narrow range. It's not like a Neo or an EOS or a NEM or an Ox or Waves or any number of these platforms that could absolutely become social media tokens or a social media network or absolutely become a YouTube. They can do a lot of these things. No, Steem is strictly limited to that function, period. The founder's gone. He's no longer involved. Not a great thing. Optional investors doesn't really apply. Competition, really, all these, as I've talked about, and to a certain extent, are competition. But in the scheme of things, not really. Steem, I mean, they're competitions in terms of platforms, and I could add a lot more here. But really, Steem has no social competition that I am aware of. It stands alone, towering above all the other. I'm going to have to do this section on another. Let's go here to Trading View. Take a look at the charts, and we'll do Steem versus BTC, and I think what we're going to see is pretty much what I've been talking about. Let's see it right here. Okay. Yeah, I mean well, this is on a weekly basis. Let's keep it a weekly basis. It's more important. It's actually doing okay, but it is headed down, obviously. Seems to have a little bit of a run up, but nothing extreme. And now it's going to retrace most of it anyway. So it's not showing tremendous relative strength on a weekly basis at all. In fact, it's downward to trending. We probably had a little bit of a peak out here, but we've definitely crossed over, and it looks like it's on a steady downward trend. So that's been the name of the game for Steem for a long time. I mean, you can look at how long it was poised to make a move up, and that keep in mind this is in weeks. This is in weeks, so it doesn't seem to have quite the audience enthusiasm I have expected, and there's something going on that's causing that. No, Trader 7, you don't at all. I'll talk to you about that. Let's see, John, this reminds me of an episode of Black Mirror on Netflix. Have no idea what Black Mirror is, but following. Okay. Yeah. No, you don't at all. In fact, a while ago, I'm sure I would. Thanks, Jonathan. A while ago, when I talked about Steem, some of you may remembered I said, look, Steem is 50,000 active users. Let's call it 60,000. Heck, you could even say 100,000. If you went to some of the top videos on YouTube and just ported them over to Steem, some of them, Don't claim it as your content. Give credit, link to it, whatever you want to do, or take some top articles or something like that on Steemit and begin to develop a bit of an audience. What was popular on these other platforms is going to be popular on Steemit, and they're not there now. They're not there. And if you take the time to move it there, the odds are at some point, and you have to, of course, deposit Steem into you. So you have to buy some Steem to do this and power it up. But let's say you buy $100 in Steem, so something like 30 shares in that neighborhood, 30 Steem tokens. You power that up, you're well into the range where you can moderate some and get a little bit of credit, a little bit of attention. My guess is you would have a pretty good business going in short order. You would be making some pretty significant money. I can't say anybody would be making $1,000, $2,000 a day like some of these other people we saw, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you make a couple of hundred right away. So that's just another of those corners in the crypto market where there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of money to be made. And yet, a lot of people aren't doing it. I talk about it. I haven't done it myself. I'm so busy with other things that I haven't even looked into it. But it's the type of thing where it could eventually be put on automatic pilot. And to answer your question, Trader7, I think new people are making money on Steem every single day. They're making less money because the tokens lost some value, but still, they're not doing it. They're not out there digging in a coal mine. They're making the little content. They're copying. They're cutting and pasting. They're doing little things that are making a couple of $100 a day or more. And that could, of course, be automated and subcontracted out. So, if you have a certain amount of money, you have a certain resources, you have the idea, you can get it automated, contract it out, and all of a sudden you're converting your assets into a fairly steady return that's growing over time. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. But it's also one of the reasons why people thought, well, you know what, Steem looks like it might be a scam. So we looked at some of the charts. And in fact, let's go back and take a look at some of these charts here again, just to make sure. Let's do it on a. I wonder if I can get a monthly basis. I mean, at some point that data should be coming in. Not yet. It isn't. Not yet. It's on a daily basis. Daily basis looks like we are primed for a pretty nice size rebound or a trend at the bottom edge. Trending at the bottom edge, one or the other. I'm not seeing much down from here. And on a weekly basis, down to trending, but it looks more like down. I would say down. So we're not really crushing it at all with Steem, and that's been one of my knocks on it for a long time. That it has a potential. It's still a long-term hold. I'm going to continue holding it. However, like right now, I know I'll be sitting through what looks like a couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks-ish or more of bad performance, relative underperformance. But that's sort of the nature of the beast with the market. And as we took a look at Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum, we could see that the string got a little tight. We ran up a little far, and now we're pulling back. But the bigger question is, let me just, I think I got to wrap this up here for you. That's all VeChain. Okay, buy levels. You know what? Right now, okay, buy levels. I would say, let me just take a look at it once again here. Buy levels. I would say, okay, we're on a weekly basis. Based on what I'm seeing here, your buy levels are quite a bit lower than on a weekly basis, probably, God, I hate to even see that, but quite a bit down from here. 17,120 on the BTC scale. So very significant pullback in place. That's what I'm seeing, because we're still have a negative slope, even though we're about to cross over zero. Definitely negative slope here, and we're due to get below zero. And this is indicating This is a complete agreement. The stochastic RSI is a complete agreement with this. The Bollinger Bands are basically in complete agreement. We could definitely break significantly lower for a period of time. So not, not great news, not a great trade at this point. I would say, buy levels probably nearly, I would say, roughly calculating, almost 40% below where we are now, below current. I would say quite a bit down. Sad to say, quite a bit down. I'm still sitting on it. It's not a major holding, but the buy levels are, based on what I'm seeing on a weekly chart, unless we get a dramatic reversal or some big news, some new development that can change things, and I don't see that happening at this point. Now, actually, there is one thing that could really ramp it up. The project that I talked a long time ago about, where they're attempting to make Steem dollars convertible directly into fiat dollars. That guy Jerry, the one, well, I had discussed openly that he was one of the top people to delegate Steam Power to, and you could get a 36% annual return or something like that. He's apparently working on this, or has somebody working on it. If that comes to pass, and I don't doubt that it will, but there's no word on it now. If that comes to pass and Steem becomes one of the few cryptocurrencies that translates back into fiat, then it's a whole different picture. Without that happening, Steem has got some issues. There's something going on where Steem is not able to build a strong enough base and enough momentum to bust out of the range that it's often in. I mean, keep in mind, for the longest time, Steem was hovering 90 cents, dollar to $2, 90 cents, dollar to $2, which is why I say 40% down from here is not at all unrealistic. It's basically returning to where it came from not very long ago. Hate to say it, but that's what I would say. I mean, that's all we need. That's all we need.